This is Here We Go Sports. We're going to talk about Indianapolis and their upcoming game. So let's get to it.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind.
So the Indianapolis Colts may very well be without Richardson this coming up Sunday. Figures. We're playing against the Ravens. I think we need his kind of style of play to really kind of put us into that 55 to 65% chance of winning this game. I believe our receivers are better than the Ravens receivers, but the style of play that's going to be needed, I think, is going to lean more toward Richardson than Gardner Minshew. Richardson being out due to a concussion from last week against the Texans is kind of a problem. So we're going to have to kind of play it by ear, but from what I understand it takes a week to get out of the concussion protocol. And if you slip up in any of the exercises or whatever that it is that they have you do, it's done. You start all over and you're not playing that week. So that's one problem. Second problem being is how much time does Richardson need to be on the practice field practicing to get ready for Baltimore? So let's say he can get on the field and practice 2 days this week because of his concussion, and he's going to be able to play. Well, is 2 days enough to prepare for Baltimore, him being a rookie like he is? I don't know. It's a good question. That question was asked to Steichen. Steichen said that they were going to talk about it this week, and he really has pretty much all he said. He said they're going to sit around and talk about it and figure out what's best for the team, basically. So the odds are looking toward against Richardson playing. Really hope not, because like I said, I believe we need a style of play. Now I'm gonna talk about the Colts as a whole for last week. 6 sacks for the defense. 6 sacks for the defense. Yes, playing against piss 14, but they were active. They look good, and hopefully that momentum just carries. Offensive line, 0 sacks. When Richardson goes out, halftime, Gardner Minshew comes in and picks up right where Richardson left off, minus the scrummability. Now, he did step outside the pocket a few times, kind of rolled out a little bit, threw some passes. He's not running away from anybody, though. And I think it's what's going to have to happen during this game. I believe they're going to be after the quarterback, and if it's going to be Gardner Minshew, you do not have to worry about him throwing too deep. There was a pass to a tight end last week, and I can't even think who it was. He was wide open, and I think Gardner put everything he had into it, and it went about 28 yards. It was not a lot. He just does not have the arm anywhere near close to Richardson. So that deep threat won't be there. I think they're going to stack the box if Gardner Minshew is playing. They're going to stack that box. They're going to make him throw the ball deep, which Minshew isn't good at. But the only chance we do have is if we can get a running game going. So if we can get a running game going, that might open it up a little bit more, but we need that deep threat that Richardson gives us, because he can throw it he can throw it deep. He can throw it across. He can throw it down, around, and all over that field. So he was throwing them 65 yards during pregame, I think week 1. So he's got an arm on him. We need that. Now, Rumorville, there's been a few rumors about Jonathan Taylor. There's been a few. One of them being that the basically the NFL's upset because he was told he ought to sit out and exaggerate his injury. Now, I don't know how true this is. NFL will be there will be some sort of lawsuit or something going on. Something's going to happen if this comes out to be true. Now, I don't know how they're going to prove that's true, but if it does, I believe we're going to be hearing about it somewhere all over the news. There was also rumor real that he was practicing on his own. There was some clips out there. He was running some routes by himself, nobody else around at the practice squad building. So, do I think he's ready? Absolutely. Will he play in week 5? Shane Steichen says he can't wait until Jonathan Taylor starts playing whenever he's off the PUP list. He can't wait till he starts playing. Is basically this is what he was saying in the press conference, like he knew something that he wanted to tell us but wouldn't. So hopefully he'll be playing as a Colt for the rest of the season once that fifth game hits, and we'll be off to the races. So our defensive line was so good last week. Our defensive backs really didn't do anything until we got the big lead, and then we really kind of just guarded everything deep, let them throw it short. And so, everybody's like, they scored 20 points on us. Okay, that might be right, but I think we let them. We played everything deep. That way, they had to throw it in the middle of the field. Tackled, time ran off the clock, and it was just a guarantee win that way. We ran the ball 3 or 4 times, and we punted. We played the safe game. Now, I personally don't like that. It worked this time. It don't always work. Most of the time, it actually does not work. And I think we all realize this. Most of the time, when you try to play it safe to win the game before the game is actually over, that team figures out a way to come back, and you either come close to losing it or you lose it. So I don't like the style of play. Shane Steichen, however, is a different coach, first-time head coach. Apparently, he did the numbers pretty quickly in his head, and like, all right, we need them to do, this. Let's let them throw 4 yards down the field. Let them try to get the yardage on foot after the catch. Do some sure tackling and run the clock out. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of sure tackling on those drives, but they did. It ran the clock out, and it worked in our favor. So I'm not trying to complain because we did win that game. I just don't like that style of defense. Stick with what you're winning the game with, is my opinion, and keep driving the ball down the field. But you protect the ball by running it, throwing it very short. You punt it, make them drive down the field the long way. 4 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards. But try to keep everything deep in front of you so there's nothing getting thrown behind you. So I get it, just don't like it. So our defense, I believe, is good. We're going to find out just how good, though, this week. Baltimore's offensive line is not as paper built as last week's game was with us. So we're going to actually see how good our defensive line is, where I think we're going to actually see how good our offensive line is. There's a lot of stunt plays. I really liked them, but they were made for Richardson, not Gardner Minshew. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the offensive line changes if Richardson can't play. I'm not real sure what the chances are Richardson will play, but I hope it's here and not here. Now, What do we have to do if Richardson doesn't play? What do we have to do to get Gardner Minshew to win the game for us? What's got to happen? What's our odds? That question I'm going to leave until Friday, because I watched Breakfast with Kent, and I actually forwarded that question, and I wanted him to see if he would explain what, in his words, what he liked and what he doesn't like and what we got to do. I want him to explain what he thinks needs to happen. And so I'm not going to speak out of turn because I asked him to answer that. So I'm not going to answer it, but leave your comments and stuff below. I am going to do a video right after this video, and then I'm going to post it this weekend, because I want to see if he posts or if he talks about what I asked him to talk about, if he will even do that. I don't know if he will or not, but I'm just really interested in what he has to say about it. If you're not, part of his community, please look him up on YouTube. Kent Sterling talks a lot about football, a lot about the Colts, a lot about IU, basketball and football, Purdue. He's just kind of, he tries to do everything Indiana, and he's thrown in a few here and there, but tries to do a lot about Indiana and in general the state as far as the sports. So he keeps everything, he throws it out there. When he hears something, he gives it to you. So I ain't gonna lie, I get a lot of information from him as well as outsource. So he's kind of like my confirmation, or he's a story that I heard. Now I'm going to confirm it, which, not to say I don't believe him, because everything he said 100% on the money. So, and something else, I'm going to sell it out there for him. For you guys watching this, I know this has become a long video. Two Big Brains. It's Kent Sterling as well. You guys need to watch it. Tune into that. It's a lot of good information, and it is different, but it's good. I promise you. Check it out. Two Big Brains. Breakfast with Kent Sterling. Check it out. Comment if you think that this went too long. Haters, if you liked it, like it, please. It doesn't really make no difference. If you haven't subscribed, though, please subscribe. If you don't like this video, though, scroll down and see if you can find something you do like. I've got some more stuff that's on my list of videos, shorts that are funny, serious, a little bit of everything. But until next time, y'all have a good day. Catch you on the next one.